Hey girl. Hello Scorpio, how are you doing? My name is SimplyVelca and I'm going to be doing your weekly reading. Now when it comes to my weekly readings, I always ask you to rely on your intuition because you know your situation better than I ever possibly could, right? I'm just a man doing some tarot cards, right? Put it in perspective. So take the cards that resonate and leave what doesn't, because it's not personal, it's just some tarot cards. So I like to speak in examples as well. So that's always why I like to say go through your intuition, because it's like I'll speak in terms of an example of like a business thing, but for you, it may be pertaining to a relationship of some sort for you, Scorpio. So you know your situation better. If this reading is of resonance to you though, I would love to hear about it in the comments below. Let me know which card called out to you the most and how it affects you in your life, if it gave you an aha moment. Also, I would love for you to give me a like and subscribe if this reading does give you a sense of direction, because it does help out my channel a lot and I really am appreciative of you guys when you guys take the time and effort to do that. So yeah, let's just jump into this reading for you, Scorpio. So for your first row, we have the Star card, the Life Experience card, and Nine of Water. You guys actually have a decent amount of, well, we'll just get into it, Scorpio. So with the Life Experience card, Archangel Chamuel, this is number 16 equaling to 7, so write that down for numerology, Scorpio. This is talking about a significant life event, powerful revelation that leads to change and time to spread your wings. And then we have the Star card, Archangel Jophiel, number 17. This is equaling to 8, so also write that down. This is talking about making happy, positive, optimistic changes for your future. You're thinking long-term. You're pretty much on the right path, right? And yeah, for this, your third card, you have the wishes coming true, concerns fades away, and a love life, Nine of Water. So really good first row. Let's get into this energy of it though. Let's pull some clarifiers so we can get some details. But initially what I'm getting from this, the energy of the first row, Scorpio, is that you're taking a risk on something, or it's like you're being bold, I guess. Yeah, no, not I guess. Yeah, you definitely are being bold on something. I pulled the Judgment card as the clarifier for the Life Experience card. I keep on seeing dominoes, like dominoes falling in my head. So I don't know if that resonates with some of you guys. We have the Ace of Swords. We have it, but it came up as initially as inverted. You may have noticed me flipping it, Scorpio. And again, this is going to be like another channeled part of it, intuitive part of it, but it's like it kind of felt like it was an energy that wasn't yours, that wasn't happy with, that isn't wanting you to claim that Ace of Swords energy. This may not make sense to some of you guys at all, and that's totally fine. So let's jump into this. With the Judgment card, with the Life Experience card, this is letting me know you're taking action on something, or it's like something happened that kind of triggered you to do something. When I say triggered you, I mean like it was like a kind of like a domino. It's just like one domino fell and then it's like the rest kind of fall afterwards. But I feel like it's like overall it seems like a positive change for you, Scorpio. I feel like you are definitely doing the right moves that are meant for you personally. But I can't help but like question with this Ace of Swords energy and the Star card, with that Ace of Swords, what I just talked about, of how it initially came upside down, I kind of took that as a sign of where it's like you might be dealing with some backlash of some sort. And keep in mind, this is for your first row, so this could just be residual energies from your past. But it seems it's almost like something occurred where someone kind of anticipated you reacting in a certain way, and it seemed as if you kind of didn't go by someone's like narrative, or like someone just didn't anticipate you acting in your own regard or on something, or just like putting yourself first. I say this because with that Nine of Water in this Four Swords energy, there's like this underlying like energy that I can't help but try to like get into. Like I keep referencing that Ace of Swords when it was like initially inverted. I just feel it's almost just like this is telling me like the storyline of what example can I use? You know, it would be like you working at your job and your boss kind of gives you like an ultimatum. That's what it is. It feels like someone gave you like an ultimatum with this Judgment card, and you didn't sink to it. You kind of rose above it and allowed it to build character in yourself and allowed you to spread your wings on something. This Ace of Swords energy, when when it was inverted, it was just as if kind of like someone was just kind of like taken back by like your reaction on something, like didn't anticipate your reaction and how you did something in a certain type of way. But it was almost like in not engaging on some level energy, because here's the thing, these two clarifiers, I pulled the 9 of coins as well, 9 of pentacles for you, Scorpio. This is like the energy of someone that's just like both characters in both images. Their eyes are closed. They're completely at peace with themselves, and like they know themselves. They know what it is that they're trying to manifest. This 9 of water, where it's just like you're trying to create greatness. You're on the path to you're just thinking about what best serves you at this time. You're not allowing other people to make choices for you, I feel. It's really good energy for your first row. I feel drawn to pull an animal card for you before we get into the second row. But while I'm shuffling, we'll talk about your second row. Your second row is 7 of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and then the 3 of Pentacles. So I pulled the Spider card for you. Just trust the creative spark you're feeling and express it through your stories that inspire and enlighten. So maybe for some of you Scorpios, something occurred in your life that kind of triggered you to go with like some type of creative pursuit, or kind of like forced you to look inwardly and try to, I don't know, this is kind of like a beautiful story and someone just like coming into their own, like a baby bird leaving the nest kind of thing, because that's what this card says. It's like time to spread your wings and fly. It's almost like you finally like spread your wings and flew when no one anticipated you to do that. I also pulled the Weasel card for you. I normally said I was going to pull one, but I felt drawn for another one. The Weasel card says, be silent and pay attention and simply observe with your eyes, ears, and physical feelings what is happening inside and all around you. So this is definitely just like a time of like self-discovery, I feel like. It's kind of like, I just got the image of someone like blowing dust off a really old book. I'm not trying to call you an old book at all, Scorpio, obviously, but it's kind of like, I feel like this book, if we're going to, it would be like you finally like dusting off like your own, this sounds like such a silly example, but it'd be like you dusting off like your own Akashic records and finally going back into alignment with like what sparked joy in you, going back to like what is beautiful for you. So with that 7 of Pentacles energy, with this Hierophant, it's like you're just in a process of like yeah, I feel like this is like you're just in a process of blooming. You're in a process of doing what serves you and not basing your decisions off of somebody else or worried about somebody else or some type of environment. So for some of you, you may just always have had like this lingering fear that you might be that you might upset somebody, or that you might if you do make one wrong move, then your life just comes crashing down. And I feel like it's not going to crash down at all for you, Scorpio. I feel like this is kind of like a narrative you told yourself, perhaps, or like a storyline that you convinced yourself of. And you're just now like taking out the cobwebs or dusting off your book and finally being like, you know what? Like, it's time to like, this is just, it's like, it's time. That's kind of what I keep hearing. It's like, it's just time. So I pulled some clarifiers for you. We have this, for the 7 of Pentacles, we have the 5 of Fire. And this is right under your Judgment card and your life experience card. And so this is telling me this might be connected with a person, right? Because this 5 of Fire says competing goals, bothersome details, and conflict with others. So it could be like your creative spark, or what it is, like you putting yourself first kind of interferes with other people's lives. No, that's not, how do I want to put it? It's like you want to do like a bakery. Like you want to have like your bakery, but someone else wants to have a pizza shop. Does that make sense? So it's like, how do I put it? Because it's like, I'm having a trouble explaining this, because it's almost as if like, it's very much so like this is kind of reminiscent of that Ace of Swords energy. This is kind of like what I felt like I was connecting to before, where it's just like someone's just bothered by you doing what's best for you. And it's interesting because I feel like you're being asked to just observe at this time and just pay attention to how people, or like how your environment is handles you just doing what's best for you. when it shouldn't affect anybody else, right? But you going with your own creative spark and expressing yourself creatively, or just going for what's best for you, shouldn't impact other people, right? And this Five of Water, things are not turning out the way that you'd hope, not seeing the positive in a situation. This is with the Hierophant. Crying over spilled milk. That's what the card is. It's crying over spilled milk. And when it's on top of the Hierophant card, this is telling me that there's like a lesson needing to be seen here, needing to be internalized here. Now, I'm not saying that you're not seeing this lesson, Scorpio. I kind of just want you, I feel like this card is kind of asking you to, especially with your last row, which I'll get into more, this is asking you to be like, yeah, observe around what is around you, pay attention to what it's trying to teach you, but don't get consumed by it, right? That's something I feel like I want to point out, is like, don't get consumed by going about things in a certain narrative. Don't be consumed by other people's energies. Go with what's bet. Like, don't argue with, that's the thing, like, don't argue. Don't feel like you have to argue or justify what your actions are, because it's like, you're just doing what's best for you, and you shouldn't have to justify that or defend that. The Three of Pentacles energy with the Ace of Earth. So this is a beautiful time. This is, both of these cards talk about contracts. So maybe for some of you Scorpios, this is the time to relook at your contract. This is or contracts that you have in your life, or long-term things. Maybe this is like going back to, I see like a drawing board of some sorts, but it's not like, and you know, usually when you hear going back to the drawing board, you think of like changing plans, but I kind of feel like this is like editing, almost. Editing, like now that you're going through the self-discovery process, you need to edit things in your life that weren't in alignment. Now, this could be with people, because this is like that energy, maybe that's like this pushback that you're getting from that Ace of Swords inverted initially. Maybe it's dealing with people and they're just having to get used to your new boundaries or whatever. This could be dealing with like an environment, like, you know your situation better. But I feel like there's just like editing that needs to happen. And when it's paired with that five of, like right next to that Five of Water, I don't necessarily feel like there's something that you need to like get rid of, right? There's nothing that's talking about cleansing. There's no like death card, there's no tower moment or anything like that. The cards aren't talking about that. It's kind of just speaking of a way, it's just like your self-discovery, you're going through your self-discovery, the pushback that you might be experiencing or observing or whatever, pay attention to it and edit it. Figure out, like, find the source of the problem and be like, this is the problem, and like, I'm not changing my ways sort of thing. This is like my new take it or leave it sort of thing. I feel like they're definitely, whatever the situation is, it's going to work out in your favor with that Ace of Earth and Three of Pentacles energy. So you're definitely on your right path entirely, Scorpio. Completely beautiful. I love it. Let's get into your last row. So this is the row of what you should be working on this week. We have the Seven of Discs, Knave of Cups, Nine of Swords, and I pulled as clarifiers the Emperor card, Five of Cups, and then the Six of Swords. So this is definitely, again, letting me know that it's probably for a lot of you Scorpios some type of social dynamic, because as I was saying before, this is like that Knave of Cups. This Knave of Cups, like, it's good to be private, it's good to learn, it's good to be self-reflective, but with this Nine of Swords energy, I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is when you're by yourself, don't spiral. Does that make sense? Because it's just like, if you have like, this is letting me know that there's some type of friction going on. The worst thing that you could do in your situation is, like, after like your fights or whatever, going back into your Knave of Cups and hermiting a little bit too much, or like being too thinking too hard on it. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't get too invested. Don't get lost in the energies. Focus on what it is that you're trying to do, right? Because you're trying to get into this Emperor energy. And I feel like you're already in this process of claiming it, but you entertaining other energies, or allowing other energies to influence you, or to, I don't know. It's kind of like a reckless energy, and I don't know how to really like frame it in such a way, but it's just like, don't be reckless in any aspect of your life and how you handle like these connections. Don't be reckless in your thoughts when you think about like stuff that's happened, right? Just focus on your creative spark and figure out how you can use like this energy to elevate you to this Emperor energy. I feel like this is more of a time of like you just investing. Like, I just keep hearing investment. Just put all your investment, all of your energy, Scorpio, investing into yourself. Don't invest energy into outside things. Don't invest. I don't know, it's just like a it's such an all over the place energy, kind of chaotic energy, but I feel like it makes sense for you, Scorpio. It makes sense in a way of where it's like, just because it's hurricane season and just because there's chaos all around you doesn't mean you need to fall victim to it. You can still build your web. You can still do what it is that you need to do without feeling sorry about it and not internalizing it, right? Just because these situations are happening, that doesn't mean you need to necessarily react to it in whatever type of way. This is just a time for you to just observe and just keep doing you. If there's any, like, this is kind of like the energy of like, don't argue. Don't feel like you have to argue. Don't feel like you have to defend. Don't feel like you have to justify. Just keep doing you, and everything will pan out beautifully for you, Scorpio. Yeah, beautiful reading for you, Scorpio. I hope this reading was of resonance to you. If it was, please let me know in the comments below and to give me a like and subscribe because, yeah. But until next time, Scorpio, I love you so much. Bye.